I saw your girl last night, Rat said, passing Case his second Kerwin. I don't have one, he said and drank. Miss Linda Lee, Case. Case shook his head. No girl? Nothing? Only biz? Friend artiste? Dedication to commerce? The bartender's small brown eyes were nested deep in his wrinkled flesh. I think I liked you better with her. You laughed more. Now some night you get maybe too artistic. You wind up in the clinic tanks. Spare parts. You're breaking my heart, Rats. He finished his beer. Paid, left. He finished his beer, paid, and left. High, narrow shoulders, hunched beneath the rail-stained khaki nylon of his windbreaker. Threading his way through the Nincy crowds, he could smell his own stale sweat. Case was 24. At 22, he'd been a cowboy, a hustler, and one of the best in the sprawl. He'd been trained by the best, by McCoy Pauley and Bobby Quinn, legends in the biz. He'd operated an almost permanent adrenaline high, a byproduct of youth and proficiency, jacked into a custom cyberspace deck that projected his disembodied consciousness into the consensual hallucination that was the Matrix. A thief, he'd worked for other, wealthier thieves, employers who provided the exotic software required to penetrate the bright walls of corporate systems, opening windows into rich fields of data. Case had made the classic mistake, the one he'd sworn he'd never make. He stole from his employers. He kept something for himself and tried to move it through a fence in Amsterdam. He still wasn't sure how he'd been discovered, but that didn't matter now. He'd expected to die. But then, they only smiled. Of course he was welcome, they told him. Welcome to the money. And he was going to need it, because, still smiling, they made sure he was never going to work again. They damaged his nervous system with a wartime Russian mytoxin. Strapped into a bed in a Memphis hotel, his talent burning out micron by micron, he hallucinated for 30 hours. The damage was minute, subtle, and utterly effective. For Case, who'd lived for the bodiless exhalution of cyberspace, it was the fall. In the bars he'd frequented as a cowboy hotshot, the elite stance involved in a certain relaxed contempt for the flesh, the body was meat. Case fell into the prison of his own flesh.